Welcome to this week's edition of the DC Life Uncensored. I'm your host, Sal Mika. I got Michael Franco, my co-host from CageMinds.com. We are live inside the Fight Shop, New Mexico on Coors and Montano. This week we have two interviews. One with Nick Gonzalez, always fun. He broke down the King of the Cage card with you, or he's going to be breaking down the King of the Cage card with you. And then we also brought in professional boxer Josh Pitbull Torres. He talks about his fiasco that happened in Vegas a couple weeks ago with Zab Judah and the fight not happening, meal cards getting taken away. So without further ado, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to come back. Micah's got the two interviews holding it down for this week's edition of the DC Life Uncensored.
The Fight Shop, New Mexico, in the Montano Plaza Shopping Center, located off Coors and Montano.
International Strategic Partners, not just another security company. Protection for home, business, and self, with background checks, self-defense courses, handgun, firearm licensing, security, and investigation services available. Contact ISP at 505-255-6063. That's 505-255-6063 or online at callisp.com.
The DC Life Uncensored is back. And right now we got Josh Pitbull Torres joining us. Josh, thanks for the time.
Hey, thanks for having me.
A couple weekends ago, on the 12th, you went out to Las Vegas. It was supposed to be the start of Knockout Night at the D. It was going to be the biggest fight of your career, Zab Judah. Fight didn't happen. A lot of rumors going on. What can you tell us about the situation?
I can't say a whole lot because I don't really know exactly what happened. I mean, I heard the same rumors everybody else heard, so I really don't have the answers as to why the fight got canceled. All I know is I was there, I showed up, and we were ready to fight.
Who came to you or who called you and told you it was off, it was canceled?
Well, it's funny because I started getting phone calls early in the morning from family and friends saying they had received emails saying that the fight was canceled and they were being refunded for their tickets. So we started trying to reach out to the promoter and no one was answering our calls. We didn't really officially find out till about 2 o'clock when we had a meeting with everybody involved in the event, which was, kind of unprofessional, kind of a disappointment that we had to find out the way we did from everybody else.
So financially for you, what did this do? How much did you lose out? Did you get any sort of compensation for going?
Yeah, we did. They compensated us a good fair percentage of our purse. So, I mean, it was a free and paid vacation. So it wasn't, completely bad. It's just more of a bummer that we lost out on the actual fight itself.
Was there a mourning period for the disappointment of having this opportunity taken from you?
Oh, absolutely. It's still going on, man. I still haven't really gotten over the fact that, that I was robbed of such a big opportunity.
And then, where do you go next? In good shape, obviously, fight ready. What are you looking to do? Or, again, is it going to take some time to just get over and process what did happen?
Yeah, we're just, staying in the gym, staying ready, and hopefully something will come up. But at the very least, we know that there's some local shows coming up in May that we've already been asked to be a part of. So we'll just, stay in the gym, start getting ready for that, and just try to recover and take it all in, the bad situation.
So was there Was there a talk about what the next move would be with you and your team, or was it easy decision right away, try to look for something?
Oh yeah, it was an easy decision, especially for how hard we train. I mean, we're in shape, we're ready. It wouldn't be hard to take the fight, in a couple weeks if we had to. So we're just, we're getting phone calls, but it has to be the right fight, of course. We're not just gonna go and take a big risk and fight, a fight that isn't smart for my career. We want it to be the right kind of fight. So we're just being patient, waiting for the right phone call to come and hoping that another door will open.
Well, earlier that week, when you first got to Vegas, heard your face was everywhere. What was it like processing that, seeing your name in the bright lights and everything?
Oh yeah, that was cool, man. It was something like a dream, seeing my face all over Vegas, the billboards, all the digital billboards, seeing it on the strip. It was pretty fun. It was a different experience.
And then the big setting, getting interviewed by some top names in the industry. What was that like?
Yeah, it was cool, especially in the fighter meetings, being interviewed by Al Bernstein and Jim Ross. It was, the whole thing was surreal, and it's still a big bummer to me that the whole thing got canceled, being that I was going to be part of such a big event.
Where did the promotion say they were going to go from here? Was there any kind of answer from them as to what they were doing next, or was it just the event's been canceled, we're going to work out payments with you guys, sorry about this?
Yeah, it was a little bit of both. What they did say is that the Knockout at the G was a series that is already contracted with CBS, meaning they have 8 fights contracted, meaning that the show will still go on eventually. And they did mention that the card that they had planned for the first event was such a solid card that they did want a lot of the fighters back on it. So who knows? Hopefully we'll still end up on one of those cards on CBS. This probably won't be against Zab Judah.
So now, does this give you any kind of bad taste in your mouth, or is this just one of those things you're going to chalk it up to one of those random bad stories you hear that happens in the business side of the fight game?
No, it does leave a bad taste, because this is the first time that I've been in this kind of situation to where I've had a fallout, with the fight this bad and that close to a fight, and just the way the whole thing turned out is just, it was just a bad situation, but we can only learn from it and keep moving forward.
Having the situation turn out like it did, does that almost make you a little relieved to come back to New Mexico to deal with some promoters that you know?
It does. It does. It really makes you appreciate, how good we have it here and how close and how, tight the bond is with everybody here. You don't realize it till you start traveling and you start seeing how shicey the business can really be.
You said it wasn't about just jumping into any fight, getting the right fight. Are there any names out there right now that you've seen, some guys that you'd really like to get in there and challenge yourself against?
Not specifically, but I do want to, take that next leap. I do want to try to step into that next level of competition to where I can start entering the contendership and start, reaching higher ranks and start getting the bigger and better fights.
And then, heading into the fight, can you tell us, how did you feel going into this one? I'm sure it's the biggest fight of your life. How did you feel?
Oh, we felt confident. We felt like there was nothing Zab could have done that night to beat us. I mean, I was just so ready for it. We trained completely hard, completely different, getting ready for Zab. I mean, it was just a great training camp, great preparation. I mean, mentally, physically, everything was there. Everything felt right. But, I mean, I don't know. I guess it was just too good to be true.
Josh Pitbull Torres. Hopefully we'll see him in a big fight soon. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to come on, be with us for a little bit. Anyone you needed to shout out to?
Just everybody that's been supporting me this whole time. I can't thank everybody enough for how much support I got for this fight. It's awesome. I just hope that we can continue to keep, New Mexico boxing alive, continue to support everybody, and, let's continue to help each other out.
Once again, thank you for the time. This interview was brought to you by our great sponsor, ISP, that's International Strategic Partners, the DC Life Uncensored. We'll be back after these messages. ISP, that's International Strategic Partners. When you think protection in New Mexico, you should think ISP, not your everyday security company, offering background checks, self-defense courses, handgun, firearm licensing, and a plethora of security patrol and investigation options. Call us at 505-255-6063. That's 505-255-6063, or online at callisp.com. The DC Life Uncensored is back, and that laughter with the fact that it's my next guest. Nick Gonzalez, all around good guys, here to help us make
The Fight Shop New Mexico in the Montano Plaza Shopping Center, located off Coors and Montano.
7-1 Jimmy Flick and the 4-3 Tim Sosa. The winner by unanimous decision was Tim Sosa. He got his back off the cage in the second, put together combos, escaped a dangerous rear naked choke in the third, got top control, had some ground and pound, enough to take 2 rounds in the books. Nick, what did you think about that main event?
Yeah, I completely agree with it. You know what I mean? That first round, Sosa was in trouble. He showed a lot of heart, fought out of it. Got taken down a couple times, got back up, kept pushing the pace, Flick came out hard, man. He came out hard, showed a lot of heart. He was there to win. There's no doubt about it. But Sosa was very patient with his game plan and eventually was able to pick him apart, man. It looked real good. He had some good stand-ups, some good shots. I thought he established his range really well and kept it. And eventually was able to start defending those takedowns as Flick started wearing, But hey, man, you got to give it up to both of them. Flick came out, put on a hell of a show, hell of a fight, deserves all the respect in the world. And he was there to win, man. It was good, let's be honest, Sosa had to weather a tough storm, and he did it, and he came out on top. It was a good fight. It was a good fight. Very entertaining main event.
It was most impressive that third round, I think. Flick, after taking 20 unanswered shots or something, being put against the cage in the second. I mean, to get the takedown, to stay tenacious, to have the opportunity to get the victory, he showed a lot of heart, not to mention he was coming off of an 18-month layoff.
Yeah.
So putting on that kind of fight and having that kind of gas tank still.
Yeah, man. No,
impressive.
He definitely showed a lot of heart. And, hey, kudos to the referee for not stopping it early, letting those guys fight. There was a lot of unanswered shots, but I mean, every time Flick got warned, he attempted a shot, overhand, something. What was really close though is those head kicks by him, those sneaky shin kicks to the head coming out right there. Boom, that lead leg. He threw, I think, a good solid 2 of them. Sosa recognized them and saw him because his hands were a little low. Oh, man, I think if he would have maybe stuck something in front of it, kind of, level changed and then came back up to the top with it, you never know. Something might have happened. But, hey, great fight, man,
The co-main event, we saw complete destruction. John Rosema, first time up at 170. Mario Ramos, Pillsbury Doughboy physique, got overwhelmed in the clinch, need away. Quick win for Rosema. I think we all feel the same, that he needs to take a step up in competition. But sometimes when you're looking for a fight, you take the one you can get.
Hey, you know what I mean? Kudos to, who is the opponent? Not Rosema,
Mario Ramos.
Mario. Hey, hey, good for him, man. You know what I mean? Hey, you're going to get in there. You're going to go for it. And he did. He was a tough guy. Had the tough guy face on and everything, and he wanted to get in there and win. But, I mean, Rosema comes from a great striking school. I mean, let's face it, Scott Marlowe is a great striking coach. And, hey, man, if you're going to stand up with that dude, you better be prepared to take some knees to the face.
Seth Abeda in the amateur main event.
But yes, I want to see Rosema step up in competition. Come on, brother. I want to see you get out there, man. You got all them beautiful muscles and shit. Let's use them. Come on.
And Gonzalez, for the record, just called Rosema beautiful.
I love everybody over there, man. You know what I'm saying? I just love the game. I love everybody that's willing to step in there, whether they are muscle to physique or Doughberry Peelboard's boys or whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really matter to me. If you're going to get in there and you're going to fight, then hell, man, you got my respect. You know what I mean? No doubt. You know?
Ramos tried to get a takedown. He tried to close the distance. He just couldn't get out of the tie clinch, couldn't avoid the knees. He did show heart, though, and
Hey, you know.
gave it all he could that night.
Hey, he was smiling at the end of it. You know what I mean? You can't beat that. Your face is covered in blood, but you're smiling. Hey, welcome to my world.
Welcome to MMA. We had Seth Abeda, Casey Yates. Casey tried to close the distance, get in Seth's face. He knew that coming in because we had seen Jackson's MMA series, Seth with some flashy kicks. This time, Abeda showed off his grappling, getting out of several tight guillotine chokes, and then getting his own, it looked like a high elbow guillotine. They tried to roll. Eventually, it got too tight. Great submission win for Seth Abeda, who shows to be a dual threat now.
Hey, man, you know, he's coming along, you know, especially after that last Jackson Series fight. You know, we didn't perform at the level we knew we could. It looked like we didn't have a ground game to present in there. You know, on a positive note, his takedown defense was rather pretty good in that fight. You know, the kid was tough. And then stepping into here, one of our focuses going into this fight was our ground. You know, was our ground. We knew Seth could strike. We knew what he could do there. We knew he had great cardio because I'm handling it. Just on a side note, United Feet, come check me out. And but overall, it was really good. You know what I'm saying? You know, we focused on his ground. He got a nice takedown in the fight. Yates' game, yo. There's no doubt about it. Yates' game, you know what I mean? He's not a chump. He's not a pushover. They're getting better and better at that gym. Every time we step in there with them, they're showing us new abilities, new skills, and he's dangerous. He's a dangerous threat. He was more experienced than us stepping in there. But hey, you know, we were able to weather that storm. He came out hard on us. He landed some good shots. He got a big takedown at the buzzard, you know what I mean? So, I mean, it was turning into a really great fight, and we knew it was going to be. We knew it was going to be on the ground. We had a feeling about it. I felt they were equal in striking, and so, you know, we were going to have to go somewhere. We were going to have to get tested somewhere. And Yates initiated the clinch and the takedown, so, I mean, we went with it. And like you said, we were able to defend some good attempts. We were able to reverse some things and end up on top. I was really pleased with Seth's ground and pound. It was starting to come along. He was showing us really good. Not just, you know, ground and pound is an art in itself. So the actual striking and the ability to strike with balance and power, with control, is the game itself. So he, you know, when he was able to do that and did that well and held balance, wasn't getting swept or pushed off, I mean, I was impressed with that. I was a little nervous when we went for the guillotine. I won't lie, you know what I mean? I felt his leg positioning could have been a little bit better in it. We did have the half guard hook on bottom side. I was pleased with that. And then, you know, eventually when Yates did try to defend, you know, fortunately for us, the cage was there. So the roll was stopped by the cage, so that was really beneficial. So if anything, he rolled into it deeper, and Seth was able to just go ahead and finish that off, which is real nice, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, you should have seen, we had some really good grapplers all over Seth preparing for this fight, and we had him on his back constantly, and, you know, making him, you know, we were working him from there. He was a, you know, great wrestling coach in Chad. Chad Smith came down, helped him out a lot with his wrestling. We were able to get that beautiful takedown. You know, it was a team effort, you know, and Seth put it together, you know what I mean? He really did. You know, kudos to Seth Abeda for shaking off that Jackson's loss decision and just getting back in there and getting it back together. It was good for him. I was real proud to see that happen. So yeah, man, you know, hey, and Yates, much props, my brother. Sorry I couldn't wrap your hands this time. You're fine, my boy, though. Next time, you know what I'm saying? Next time. As long as you ain't fighting my boys, well, I got you, my man.
And you know the ground and pound is good. When 30 feet back, you can still hear the thud of fist to head and head hitting mat. So that was some impressive stuff. Now we're going to talk about the fight of the night, at least in both of our opinions.
Absolutely.
Austin Lewis, Ambrose Vigil. It goes down as a unanimous decision, 2-1 for Austin Lewis. And now we're going to get into the point of the card where we start talking about the judging. We start talking about JacksonWink went 1 for 3 in the night. Seth Abeda got the win. and 3 controversial is the easiest way to put it, decision losses. We'll start off Austin Lewis, Ambrose v. Hill. There was a questionable stand-up in the 3rd round where they were both being active on the ground, and I didn't think there was a reason for it. Ambrose came in with a great game plan. Austin Lewis goes for the clinch, goes for tie knees. He's devastating with them. Ambrose blocked several, ate a few, scored takedowns off of him. It was a back-and-forth battle on the ground. Ambrose landed his strikes while standing. There were some good leg kicks on both sides. Going to the judges, my side of this is, by the 3rd decision, you kind of felt that it was going to go in the red corner's way anyway. Close fight. Nick, I know you feel robbed. I know you feel robbed for Ambrose. So tell us about how it was. You were closer to the action than I was.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? First of all, let me say that, you know, we really, our team, 1 and 3, whatever you want to look at it like that, robbery, decisions, controversy, whatever. You know what I mean? We were honored to be a part of the card. We really appreciate being able to compete with great talent such as Austin Lewis, so on and so forth. And we're thrilled. We can't wait to be a part of the next one. It's good for our guys to step into somebody else's backyard and face that, basically that mountain, that uphill climb. There's no doubt about it. That's every one of our guys stepped in there, you know, and we had a hill to climb, and we climbed that hill. We were extremely proud of our guys. And let's get to it, man. The fight, man, was great. It was a great fight in my eyes. Easily the fight of the night. I agree. It was back and forth. You're right. He came out with a great clinch. We were ready for it. We knew that was coming. He landed a couple of good knees. We showed a lot of heart out of it. But in the first, man, we stuck him, man. And it's fair and square. We got him. We rattled him. We shook him a bit. We established our range. We kept going. You know what I'm saying? And I think we snuck out of that round with it. I think we even got taken down in that round. That was great. You know, kudos to Austin Lewis, man. He kept his head on straight, even though he got rocked a bit. And I think he got a takedown, right? And you know what I'm saying? And we were able to reverse that takedown. I felt we were, you know, it was submission versus ground and pound at that point. You know, Austin was throwing up a great triangle attempts from the very beginning. He hit his back. But, you know, we were grounding and pounding. We were attempting to pass. We were lighting up punches. I mean, we were landing. You know what I mean? There's no doubt about it. I mean, hell of a fight. You know what I mean? Going in the second round, I mean, it's as simple as, hey, man, you know what I mean? Watch it. You know what I mean? We rocked him in the first. They immediately, I felt they were like, hey, take this guy down. Because, I mean, without hesitation, second round came out. Lewis went for the takedown immediately. Got it. Ended up on top. Was starting to get busy. We fought strong. Remember, our back was against the cage. I thought we were going to wall walk. We didn't. We were able to reverse position. We came up out of it. We got the takedown. We started grounding and pounding. It was nice, man. It was a beautiful fight, man. It was back and forth. I'm telling you, Ambrose v. Hill is my little snake in the grass, brother. I'm telling you, he's a beast, man. He has the heart of a lion, you know, and he goes for it every time he's been out there. That was his MMA debut, but he's been training a while and developing with all of us now, you know what I mean? So it was a really, really great fight. You know, hey, you know what I mean? I believe we won. We won the fight. There was that controversial stand-up because, hey, one was attempting submissions. One was attempting to defend and ground and pound, and off that submission, get a pass. And for it to be paused and stopped and stood up was a little bit awkward because I felt we had the advantage on top. You know, he was showing wild balance, good positioning while striking on the ground, looking for passes, staying busy. There's no way it was unanimous. There's just no way it was unanimous. You know what I mean? I think, you know, I mean, all respect to his camp and to Austin Lewis has my respect, and it was a real pleasure watching him work, and it was just absolutely amazing to see Ambrose out there doing what he does and what he loves to do. But yeah, man, you know, and you know, what do you want to say about judges? You know what I mean? From the very beginning in the rules meeting, since day one, they will tell you if you don't like going to the judges, then don't let it go to the judges. You know what I'm saying? And to keep it real, both guys, Ambrose and Austin, were not trying to let it go to the judges. They were out there to fight. They were out there to finish each other and to win, and clearly, fight of the night. I mean, it was a brilliant fight by both guys. And yeah, I felt like Ambrose was able to win. I felt we won that fight. I mean, it was close, but I gotta go with my boy Ambrose. I think we were just busier. You know what I mean? I thought we were just busier. We were getting takedowns. We got the takedown in the third. We were on top the whole time. He couldn't get off his back. There was points where he was even laying flat, and it just, hey, what can you do? But you called it. By the time we got to that fight, we already knew if we were going to the judges, we were losing.
Talking about the decisions keep rolling. Chris Rojas loses a split decision, but the one judge that saw in his favor saw it 30-27. It was really takedowns versus the work that Sadia was doing off of his back and the strikes he was landing before he got on his back. Chris landed a couple nice overhand rights in there. He got cut open in the third.
Yeah.
The first round was a toss-up round because Chris didn't land much. He got the takedown. Sadio landed a little more.
Yeah.
That was, I thought, a 10-10 round because it was so hard. The second round, I thought Chris obviously won, having top control. The third round, it was a bad sign when Chris got caught with an elbow, was on top, and got split between the eyes, and the blood flew, and that's kind of tantalizing to judges, and we end up with a split decision loss for a guy that had 3 solid takedowns and really never had an opponent threatening him submission-wise. Rojas loses with a lot of top control.
Hey, man, I mean, in my eyes, in the decision losses, I can agree that was probably a close fight. It was a good fight, man. You know what I mean? It was fun to watch. Chris came out a little hesitant. It seemed like he was overthinking just a tad bit in that first. He finally calmed down, started locking, changing gears, getting into where he needed to be, into his world, in his zone. He, don't ever get me wrong. We lost the decisions, and it's okay. You know what I mean? We got to go work on why, and fix what we could have done better. So it's okay. You know what I mean? We're not upset. We'll be back at that show in a heartbeat. You can have the same judges on it. It don't matter. We'll be there in the same, in a heartbeat. All the same guys ready to go.
I ain't worried about you guys. I'm worried about the judges and what they're going to do the next set of fighters. That's my point. We got to fix that problem. You guys can go to the gym and work on yours, but these dudes don't practice. They only go live.
What can you say? You know what I mean? You will always have bad judging from the local show all the way up to the big show, and that's been proven time and time again. You know what I mean? That's never going to be fixed. All we can do is fix what we can, what we can handle, and that's basically our fighters and our ability to approach the game. It was a great fight. Matter of fact, on the way out, somebody was like, yeah, that was a close fight, but I agree with the judges. Your guy was just taking too many leg kicks. And I was like, so you're telling me the only thing you saw this guy land was leg kicks? And so we can lose off somebody just landing leg kicks when we're totally in top control and top, getting big takedowns and on top game. Could we have done more from our top? Absolutely. There's always more every fighter can do. There's always something you can change. There's always something you can improve on. If you think you just got it down 100%, go find something else to do. You know what I mean? Because there's always something, even in a victory, there's still things you could have did different. There's things you could have, everything could be done different, But Chris fought a great fight. I was really, really proud of him. That was his MMA debut. And, he did great. You know what I mean? Finally in the third, going into the third, I was like, Chris, let your hands go. You know what I mean? He has good hands. He has power. We've been working on his stand-up a lot. He's 4 kickboxing fights deep, you know what I mean? And it's like, dude, we've been working on this, have some comment. And in the third, he landed a nice left. And, it opened his opponent's eyes. It was like, whoa, you know what I mean? And then he kind of stuck with it for a second. You saw he was throwing that overhand. He started coming a little heavier with the hands, more committed into it. So, man, if we could have did that from the very beginning, maybe it would have changed the outcome. Who knows, you know what I mean? But I don't. Regardless of what the judges say, we didn't lose those fights. You know what I mean? We just didn't lose those fights. All respect to all opponents and everybody that steps in there. That's a victory in itself. And it is hard to watch anybody, like you said, get robbed with some controversial decisions. When you're walking into a decision and one judge sees it 30-27 and you end up losing a split decision, it's just like, wait a minute, what just happened? You know what I mean? Because the fight right before that.
Right before that, we had Kahari Snowden defeat Slade Ring by a split decision, and Slade landed 6 takedowns. My recollection was a lot of kicking from both guys. Snowden landed a few more punches on the feet, but spent a lot of time on his back, cage walking. They were fighting guard to half guard, but Slade was on top, controlling the action.
We were able to get mount.
Using the ground and pound. And another split. This was the worst one of the night because Kahari spent so much time on his back and wall walking that Slade was in control of the whole. Cage control was all Slade.
I completely agree. We got every single takedown, that was in the fight. But once again, my respect to both opponents. They went in there and they fought their hearts out. But I mean, the fact of the matter is, you can't. I didn't know judges were, I didn't know they were scoring off what you attempt to throw and doesn't land. I didn't realize that you got points for just throwing at the air and missing head kicks and missing things. There were some things we could have did different, but once again, I mean, we initiated the pace. We were pushing it. You know what I mean? You're right. You know what I mean? I felt the stand-up was even, especially when it came to kicks. I mean, I felt the stand-up, we weren't just getting handled standing up. But we would close distance, we'd slip off, we would land leg kicks, couple nice punches, and then we get our takedown. And our takedowns were successful. You know what I mean? Could our ground and pound have been a little better? Absolutely. But we were able to advance position. We were able to get side control. We were able to get mount at one point. I mean, what else do you got to do? You know what I mean? What else do we got to do? I mean, I really don't know. They tell us in the rules. I mean, aggression, cage control, cage awareness, this and that. So we're in there, we're doing it, you know what I mean? And then, the outcomes aren't what we expected. We even got scored against 30-27. I didn't realize attempting to get up was caught, it was more points than actually getting up. So, hey, what can you do?
It was some interesting scorecards definitely on the night. And outside of the our little Jackson's debacle that we've been talking about, we also had Elias Gordo out there at the Farmington Fight Factory, coming from a boxing background. He put it together, hands, a liver kick, finished off Rudy Aguilar. You had Andrea Amar, takedowns, got to mount, took Tabitha Trevino's arm, getting a second round submission. You had Francisco Dominguez getting the triangle choke on Alejandro Moreno, and Kyle Sparks got the standing rear naked choke that hit the ground on Desmond Spikes. So all in all, a great night of finishes, a hard night for the judges to score, and Tim Sosa obviously showed great improvements and made his intentions clear. He wants that King of the Cage title. So we got to thank Nick for joining us, for helping us break that down. Now we get to put Nick on the hot seat because he already talked about. Yep, hot sit. Sorry, I'm gonna have you do the yoga, the hot sit. You ready to bring it up? United Fit. Tell us about it.
Yeah, man. No, United Fit's been a lot of fun. It's a gym I'm helping out with. It's a conditioning school. It's ran by Carlos Mora, and great strength and conditioning coach. Young, has a bright future in the game. Has a lot of understanding on what he does, and it's really good. We've been having a lot of success with everybody we deal with, and we deal with everybody. You know what I mean? We deal with all ages. We deal with all talents and walks of life. It doesn't matter if you're an MMA fighter, a volleyball player, a wrestler. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? We're helping with everybody. I'm fortunate enough to go ahead and take a lot of these young fighters we got up and coming and help condition them, help them make weight, help them just give them that little extra pad time, rolling time, whatever it takes, conditioning. We do it all. It's been a lot of fun. We're located, over there off Indian School, 4725 Indian School. And we've just been jamming, man. It's really, really nice. It's a nice, little hidden spot. Man, we got heavy bags, and we got weight room, we got a sauna, you know what I mean, we got showers, we got the works over there, man. It's a sweet little spot, man, and it's we've been real fortunate to be able to, we've been in business about a year now, and we're just growing nice and slow, man. It's just me and him, and we're rocking out. Actually, we're offering Pilates now. We've got a really cool Pilates instructor. She's really nice, and y'all interested in that, come on in, man. We got everything over there. Why don't you just come and visit us, check us out, told us you heard from us on this wonderful, wonderful podcast. And then, we could just work it out from there, you know what I mean? But otherwise that, man, we just having fun over there, helping keep people in shape, get them ready for their fights. Of course, I'm helping these guys find fights. We're thrilled and honored to be a part of the King of Cage venue and show again. Hey, we don't mind. Our guys need fights. We want to fight. We train hard. We fight hard, and we laugh hard. You know what I mean? So
A King of the Cage vet. One time we've seen you step in the ring. Any chance we see you in action again, Nick?
I would love to fight again. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. I'm still too pretty to quit now. You know what I mean? So, I got to get it back up in there. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. But, everything in its due time. I'll let the cards play out for themselves. You know what I mean? And I'll just keep training hard, keep staying in shape, and keep working on any holes I believe I have, and continue chasing that dream. Just riding that wave. You know what I mean? Helping these young bucks come up, find them fights. It's, hey, man, as long as I'm involved, I'm happy. It's okay. Anywhere. I'm sure I could pretty much, I'll guarantee y'all will see me in there again, just because there's nothing like it. You know what I mean? I can't walk away from it yet. When I'm in there, I'm free. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter win, lose, draw. It doesn't matter if it's MMA, boxing, whatever. I don't care. I'll fight anybody, anytime, just because, hey, the tougher they are, the better it is, It's a lot funner to me. I don't look for no easy fights or any pushover fights. I'll just take whatever you give me. It doesn't matter to me. I don't do that to my guys. I always tell them that they're funny, you know what I mean? I say, I'll never throw you guys to the dogs, but hey, let me in. Yeah,
We just met Ambrose Vigil this weekend. How many other tricks you got up that sleeve?
Oh,
man.
man.
Where'd this kid come from?
Yeah.
What are you hiding up there?
I'm telling you, brother. I'm telling you, man. We got these little secret snake in the grass, but I'm telling you, Ambrose, man, he's been under the scene for a minute now. We've been developing his skill for quite some time. He has a nice little kickboxing record. We're coming off a head kick knockout victory in Las Cruces. You know what I mean? It was a good fight for him. We were thrilled and honored to be able to take on such an opponent as Austin Lewis with this. It was great, man. It was great, So we couldn't, hey, man, Ambrose Vigil, watch out for him. The exclusive one. I call him Ambruiser, you know what I mean? But he's the exclusive Ambrose Vigil. Oh, shit. That's my man right there. Y'all look out for him, man. He's our sleeper cell, brother. He's our sleeper cell. I'm telling you, man. People be sleeping on him.
And then we're talking about the local scene also, because it's the Cage Mind segment. April 2nd's the next set of wars we got. There's 2 events, I think 3 possibly. There's a kickboxing smoker that night. And then also we got Southwest Brawl 3. And we're going to have a bunch of JacksonWink's fighters at Rumble on Route 66. Conrad Padilla versus Chevy Bridges. Donald Sanchez, Omar Alver. The new matchups announced: Frank Lester, Mike Jasper, and Cody Hofstetter versus Russell Wilson, Adrian Cruz, Cody Ortiz, Barata, Rafael de Freitas, and Gene Perez. So that's April 2nd. And then for you, Nick, how excited are you to see some of these teammates of yours back in action?
Oh, man, that's a hell of a card there, man. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be a beautiful card. You guys don't miss out on it. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be there. I think I got to go up to Las Cruces with Chris Rojas. We got ourselves another MMA endeavor, so somebody got to go out there with our boys and help them get ready. But yeah, man, if you're here in town, do not miss that card. That's going to be one hell of a card. I mean, come on, man. Donald Sanchez, Conrad, come on, man. Barata. Oh, Frank the Tank, my boy, what? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's going to be on like Donkey Kong, brother. It's going to be out of sight, man. And, of course, my man, Adrian Cruz, all the respect to him. We had our time, but that's still my boy right there. I got a lot of love for him. And then, you know what I'm saying, my man Cody, it's good to see him getting back in there. It says 0-3, man, but Cody's legit, man, and he's coming back down into a proper weight class, I think, for him. Those are at 155, and so he's making his 145 debut here. And, man, I've been working with him, man. He's feeling strong, man. He's feeling good, he's putting it together. So I have a lot of confidence in these guys coming up, man. And, man, it's just good to see everybody back up in there, man. I'm proud of these guys, and it's an honor to be a part of the team and to even have stepped in there with a couple of them. And, man, it's just an absolute thrilling sport, man. I love it, you know what I'm saying? So, it's all love. It's all great, man. And I just, I hope everybody, stays healthy, and could go about their day the next day, and everything's cool, man. Good for them, man. Albuquerque, New Mexico. Don't miss out. Get out there, Route 66. Show some love, you know.
And then on the bigger stage, we're still talking about JacksonWinks. June 18th, Donald Cerrone still at welterweight. This time, Ontario, Ottawa, Canada. Main event against Patrick Cote. Feel like a pro wrestling slaying. This one on paper should be a slobber knocker.
Oh yeah, it's on paper. That's finally one on paper that's not gonna lie. You know what I mean? That's gonna be one hell of a scrap. And I forever got love from my man Cowboy, man. That dude's just so impressive. His mindset, his skill ability. If I could just be half the man he was, I would be amazing. I'd be amazing. You know what I mean? He's outstanding. His mentality towards the game, his mindset towards everything is just outstanding. I gotta tell you, like him and Diego Sanchez, I mean, those guys' mindsets, man, are just amazing. The self-confidence and belief in their abilities. I mean, if everybody in the world had half their self-belief and self-confidence, this would be an amazing world. It'd be really wonderful. You know what I mean? The way they conduct themselves in there, and just absolutely amazing. How? You know what I mean? I just say, look at me. How did they do it? I'm still finding it.
And then also to hit on the local scene, news out of Atrisco Boxing. Fidel Maldonado, the Atrisco kid, looks like he's going to be back on a big stage out in California, May 20th.
Let's do it, man. You know what I'm saying? I've taken a couple of boxing. I've done a couple. I could take one boxing, got beat the hell up. It was fun. No excuses. I trained my ass off for that fight. Like, I put in work for that fight. I just got outclassed, and hey, that's okay. It happens. You know what I mean? And I'm still too pretty though, so I got to keep going. So, and I talk pretty good too, you know what I mean? So I guess I'll keep going. But hey, it's good to see him back out there. I wish nothing but success for all New Mexico fighters. We are dominant in what we do. I mean, there ain't nothing else to do in the desert but fight and make babies, you know what I mean? So, and I do both those things, so, it's pretty chill, you know what I mean?
You and Sal got that one on lock. You and Sal. This has been the DC Life Uncensored. I got to thank Nick Gonzalez for coming on with us. Sal Moore has been on a long coffee break. This has been the DC Life Uncensored. And as always, recorded at the Fight Shop, New Mexico.
Boom.
Corza Montano, come visit the shop. Always talking about combat sports and the best deals on all the greatest gear. Also, thank you to our sponsor, ISP. For Sal Moore and Mike.
Thank you.